Chat, we got something we need to talk about, which has been under scrutiny, I think. Some good, some bad, but the way I think they're approaching it, I don't know. I haven't really fleshed out my thoughts on this one, so I'm going to try to do it live for you all, and we'll see how it goes. But if you guys didn't hear the news, there's been a lot of talks in the past, like, 2 weeks about the RLCS highlight channels, right? There was a highlight channel that was pulling more viewership per month than any other channel in Rocket League. It was a congregate of like different streamers, content creators, RLCS moments, players, whatever, all coming together and trying to provide people some context. And there's a lot of controversy around it. We did a video on it and talking about more so to educate other people that like, hey, you can also go do this. And you've seen a couple creators do this since then, where they've made their own clips channels. And the conversation is, by having a collective channel, there is a chance that just your clips aren't going to be enough. But if everybody is on there and everybody goes to that, there's a chance that because people are watching all these clips, they'll also watch your clips, and there's a chance for you to grow. And these types of channels exist in every other space. The difficulty and the thing that I got wrong, and I appreciate people like Highlight Heaven and stuff like that clarifying, is there has been multiple like DMCA things, and there's been multiple things that like a cease and desist and everything else that comes with it. It basically states like you can't earn ad revenue on this. And someone had literally asked Highlight Heaven, like, if you don't earn any ad revenue from this, why are you putting so much time and effort into it? What's the point? And he said, honestly, I don't really know. So that conversation of, hey, what's going on with these highlight channels? Are they good? Are they bad? What's the purpose? Has been kind of a topic of conversation for a couple of weeks. So I've been trying to sit back and see what was going to happen and how things are going to play, which is usually why I do it. But in particular, what ended up happening was an announcement that what felt originally like kind of like a tongue-in-cheek comment was actually true. If you guys haven't seen it, Lethamyr is teaming up with some of the biggest content creators in Rocket League. Rizzo, who is ascending very rapidly, Sunless, Musty, and John Sandman. There's other conversations of potentially bringing in like Musty and some of these other creators that have over 1 million subs. Rizzo will be there soon enough. You wait. But they're putting together a channel called Rocket League Moments. And what the point is that they are going to take the best clips from the favorite content creators in one place, only if they are given permission. And we'll talk about all the different responses from all the different creators. John's the only one who I didn't think tweeted anything about it, but the plan and the purpose of this is to create a channel specifically to make a non-profit channel with all the money going back to the community in multiple different ways. And to put this to bed, because it's been said too many times, you're even seeing immediately in chat, Leth had nothing to do with the RLCS highlights channel leaving. I talked on the phone for a half hour with the person behind that RLCS highlights channel, the biggest, most successful one. And the reason why they left was because of school. It had nothing to do with Lethamyr. I don't want to share too much because it was a private conversation between me and this person, but the person said that this is something that they've been looking to do for a few months now. They were burnt out, and that school is coming up and they could not balance both sides of it. And even with multiple people, myself, apparently Jack, and others, talking about ways that he could make this a career, be more successful, find a way to simplify it, do a bunch of things. There was a bunch of different ways to turn it into a profitable option. One of the things I told him is that he could position this skill set to other people and start getting hired by people like myself, Jack, and others, and being like, hey man, if you make TikToks, if you make shorts for a bunch of different channels all at the same time, you could turn this into a full-time job. You could get paid by multiple different avenues and do that as a career rather than just trying to do this own channel and getting pennies. If I pay you a full-time salary as a editor rather than you trying to hope for ad revenue, this could be a successful business. Those were some of the things that I talked to him and encouraged him about. So he and I talked for a half hour about this kind of conversation, ways that he could do it, the pros and cons, some of the legalities behind it, and basically educated him on how to do this stuff. So the difference and the difficulty that it's always come down to is the manpower. To watch that many streams, turn those quickly around, edit those, it takes a lot. So what Lethamyr then talks about, and again, I'm here to dispel the rumor, it had nothing to do with Lethamyr. The guy himself has said it. I don't think you guys can read between the lines. It's BS. and insinuate something when the person behind it literally has said the exact opposite. So the purpose of this channel is that they are going to take all the ad revenue and everything else, which they're going to make public, and all the money will be directed towards things to the community. For example, clip of the month awards to the creator whose clip it is, prize money for community run events, giveaways, prizes, land events, charities, whatever they can think of. The channel will be posting content only from creators who have agreed to be part of the channel and have their clips shown. And we hope to streamline tournaments for pros, creators, and viewers. Yes, you guys can get involved directly from the revenue generated from the clips. Clips will start soon. We're paying editors out of pocket to get the ball rolling. And if any creators are interested in taking part, DM any of us and we'll get you in the Discord. The biggest controversy with this is obviously with the Lethamyr situation coming right after the fact that, hey, this channel shut down. People are pointing fingers. You can go and look at many of the videos that have come out, all the comments left by this person who is the person behind it and has stated that it has nothing to do with that. I'm going to take his word. I've also talked to him about the situation, and I know for a fact that it does not have to do with Lethamyr. Whether he has been pushed to the decision or not, but when I talked to him, it had nothing to do with the comments that were made or anything else. He appreciates all the overwhelming support and all the other kind of stuff, but it was a kind of like a Bob Ross happy little accident. He ended up doing it because he was trying to fulfill a niche, ended up paying off, etc. But the amount of money versus the amount of time and effort that was put in just wasn't worth it. Plus he had school, etc. So that's what all went down. Rizzo has provided saying, hey, we're looking for creators to give us permission. Sunless is saying anybody who's included. Basically, they are pushing forward this channel to say, hey, if you're interested and you want to be on this channel, give us permission. We'll do it, but you have to give us permission. And that's what all three of them, Rizzo, Sunless, and Musty, all say to coincide with like Lethamyr's tweet. I didn't see John Salmon post any information about it or anything like that, just that he's associated with it. The channel itself hasn't posted any content yet. It's called Rocket League Moments, for the community, by the community, and it's already got more than half my subs. It's already got more than half my subs and they haven't posted anything. It kind of hurts a little bit, guys. Kind of hurts a little bit. But they even say in their about, clips from the channel will be given access, etc. There is no videos or anything on the channel, but it does have already 500,000 views. And I don't know if that's just people pulling up the channel and looking at it, or if they had, like, if it's a previous channel that was made and has now been converted and stuff has been deleted. That's what I think has happened, is because this was made 2 years ago. This might have been one of the creators' secondary channels. They deleted everything and then repurposed it. That's what I think might have happened here. So overall, my kind of thoughts and feelings about it is I don't know what they're getting out of it, other than like the notoriety that comes with it, right? Other than the notoriety that comes out of it, they're going to be, if you're paying an editor, like, people are expensive. Like, editors, if they're going to be hiring multiple editors and stuff out of pocket, it's going to be super expensive. And the revenue that comes back isn't going to be justifiable unless it really grows. So this is like a long-term commitment if they do this. And the revenue that comes back, but you have to, like, right, you say it's nonprofit, but you've got to pay. I don't know if they're going to use some of the money that comes back to pay for the editors so they break even, and then it's on top of that. Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know what the operating costs are going to be. I don't know the specifics of that, but overall, how do I personally feel about the topic? There is a lot of pros for people involved. Like, if I am an unknown creator, right? Say I'm a creator, I average like 10 viewers on Twitch or something like that, and things aren't going amazing, and one of my clips stands out and goes on a channel like this, there's potential that person who's making their own clips and stuff, like, it never hits the algorithm, it never blows up, and never whatever. But if it goes to a channel like this that is averaging tens of 20s of 30, 40, 50,000 views, and all of a sudden your clip is also in that, and all the people that normally go to that channel watch that clip also get to see your clip now, there's a potential of that kicking back. And that's the real benefit to channels like this and why they exist in many others. My approach is, if you are already a recognizable name, it is better for you to start your own channel. And while initially it may not have a lot of growth, long term, it can be beneficial. And that's the purpose of where it depends on who you are, what your stance is, and what efforts you're trying to put forth. I myself would probably benefit from being on this channel, if I'm being honest with myself, just because, like, in the grand scheme of things, I am not a Lethamyr, a Sunless, a Musty, a John Salmon, you know, yeah, we hit 50K subs recently, but that is nowhere near what it takes for these to really pop off. But I personally look at myself and go, okay, the content that I am making is not what these clips are probably going to be. My clips, if I did shorts for my channel, would be some of the conversations I have spliced down very, very quickly. And then hopefully those hit algorithm every once in a while and they help growth. So like wanting to do it myself is also just how I operate, but not everybody is like that, right? Lethamyr even talks about this and says, hey, someone said, hey, this is great, but did you reach out to the RLCS highlights to be part of this in any capacity? Even as an editor or behind the scenes guy, try to imagine their success in the timing of their leave wasn't a factor in you creating this. And he's like, Lethamyr replied and said, hey, he didn't want to be involved with the clip stuff anymore, which is why he stopped. I'd offer it in a heartbeat if he wanted to. Apparently Jack also made offers to him and stuff as well. And these clips should be, and if they haven't thought about it, posted not only as shorts on YouTube, but also on TikTok, also on Instagram, Reels, all that kind of stuff. These should all be done. And that is a mentality that needs to happen for many creators. I, again, am not perfect at this. If anything, I'm terrible at this, but this is stuff that I wish I had more time to do. But with all the other things I'm trying to do, it's the one thing that gets pushed to the side. But if I had someone making shorts, I would post those, and wish I had someone as an editor to post those dailies on TikTok, a YouTube Shorts channel, Instagram, and make dedicated channels for all three of those. And it just pushes the content on every different platform. You need to utilize every single opportunity to get your name out there. Like people who only stream on Twitch, it is not the play. Twitch's discoverability is pretty rough in comparison to others. The algorithm, the way that it pushes you, the way that it recommends you is not good. So having the opportunity to put it on platforms like shorts and stuff that at any moment can pop off, hit the algorithm. Like I remember when I had 0 followers on TikTok, I posted a video and it got like 14K views. No other platform does that. So those opportunities are there. What demographic are you going to pull? What kind of people are going to see those videos? Those are all things that I definitely need to be better about, but I just haven't taken the time to do it. So those types of concepts are an opportunity. And I think leading back to the original conversation of if they do this for everybody else in the community, obviously these creators have done a really good job of obviously growing their own branding and all that kind of stuff. They understand like what comes with it, and by using their name and the weight that is carried with it to then push down into what might be a platform for others. If I'm a creator in my, like I said, if I'm a 10 viewer Andy, not to discredit that person's efforts, but if that stuff ends up coming over and all of a sudden their clips gets posted on these channels and all of a sudden a bunch of other people, like that person could be sitting there one day and all of a sudden their clip hits the algorithm and all of a sudden a bunch of people trickle over and now they're pulling, you know, views like Tenacity. Like there's a lot of opportunity for a lot of people, and I'm curious to see on how it'll play out. This will definitely be one that we'll have to revisit long term and see how it plays. But the benefit of kind of like the rich getting more rich kind of mentality is you've got 3 or 4 creators all congregate, or like as an aggregate having like 6-7 million followers, subs, and being able to have that like head start to push people, like it could lead to some pretty interesting things. So I'll have to keep my eyes on this. I'll have to go and see and how this one performs. I plan to revisit this topic in like a year. I'm interested to see what happens, because you definitely need time for these channels to grow and what it turns into. But I'll probably want to revisit this one in a year and see what it turns to be. But let me know what you guys think. Again, I'm here to dispel some of the rumors. A lot of people obviously Lethamyr catching a bunch of flack, but I can say I've talked to the person personally on a one-on-one, had the conversations, had nothing to do with Lethamyr, had a lot more to do with time, effort, the lack of money, and long term it wasn't going to be a thing and has to go back to school. So that is going to do it for today's video. I'm curious to see on how you guys feel about this. Is this something that you guys are going to pay attention to? Is this something you guys are going to go subscribe to? Is this something that you guys desire? Because clearly there's a desire for it. There's a niche for it. Those highlights channels exist in every other game, every esport, every traditional, non-traditional, and there's a reason why. A lot of people want a quick one-stop shop place to go and check out some of the most hype moments, whether it be gameplay, roster leaks, whatever. So very interested to see on what's going to happen. So that is going to do it for today's video. As always, any questions, comments, concerns, let me know down below. And as always, like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.